What? Abram, where are you at? Abram, get out of here! No, it's because you're climbing behind it. Now stop! What? Cookie's locked in the kitchen.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Good evening, everyone, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of On the Pole here on Fligger Farm TV. We are here once again with the James Wagoner's Welding Gen 6 series brought to you by the Roughneck Racing League. We want to make sure everybody is joined in and ready for some Gen 6 car fun here this evening as we get ready to send it trackside here this evening as the drivers will finish up practice and get headed into qualifying for us this evening. Hope everybody's in for some action pack as we are back here once again at Las Vegas. If you were with us here at On the Pole last night, we watched our Friggy Diggy Racing League in the ARCA cars take to the banks of Las Vegas. And then if anybody's been paying attention with me and the NASRA series on Friday nights on NASRA 360 Racing Network, I've been running the truck series and we run Las Vegas this Friday night. So it's going to be it must be the week for Las Vegas here for On the Pole and myself, as it seems like that's where my luck has dropped me this week. So we'll go from here back to PA for Williams Grove on Wednesday night, and then back to Las Vegas Friday night for the NASRA 360 Racing Network and the NASRA Cops Truck Series there on Friday night. I'll be running a brand new paint scheme that night. So come out and check us out. We may be throwing up a special On the Pole from the driver's seat here this Friday as well. So be sure to help check us out there. But for tonight, we are here at Las Vegas with the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. And we're going to go trackside as they got just under, I think, 7 minutes left of practice to go. We'll take a look through the field and stop as we get rolling. Okay, scratch that. We got 4 minutes left, and we got the points up here after week 6. So this is after Watkins Glen last week. James Wagoner is still ahead with 151. Steven Shue there in second with 138. I'm sorry I don't have the positions there on the left-hand side, but they didn't copy over for me correctly. So just kind of deal with me here tonight. Alrighty, thank you, Mikey Eden there for checking in with us here at On the Pole. We appreciate that. We are looking currently at the points, and we left off with Robert Lynch there in third with 135. So we're going to be watching those top drivers, Matt Gall there in fourth, Matt Barker there in fifth. So those are our points as of they come into the night. Some of these drivers looking to have a little luck here at Las Vegas, bringing the luck with them to the Sin City. As we're currently looking at the likes of the 01 there of Jeffrey Ledford. As we get everything set and rocking and rolling here tonight. As we move on through, we got Adam Sprinkle here in the number 77, James Wagoner machine, Ford Mustang. Jonathan Vandenberg there in the number 26 machine. Jimmy Pyle and Rowdy there in the Jimmy John's number 29 machine once again. Jeff Scott in the number 38. Getting some laps in here in practice where we got about a minute and a half left to go in the practice session. Teresa Schweitzer there in the number 70. Robert Lynch Jr. in the number 21. And Ty Trafford in the number 82 this evening. Jason Kinney, currently our fastest in practice, coming back out on track in that number 66 machine. As we see the best times of the session here with about 45 seconds left. Kinney with a 29.586. Epker with a 29.665. Sprinkle with a 29.705. 29.732 will be Stephen Shue. 29.812 goes to Brian Richards. Or Benjamin Richards, I'm sorry. Matt Gall with a 29.825. Johnny Hurst, 29.879, and 29.8282 goes to Jonathan Vanderberg, and Jimmy Pilin Rowdy has a 29.949 for practice. So now that's going to be it for practice. Now we're going to switch over to qualifying. As drivers have 5 minutes to qualify here this evening. Going to be pretty exciting to see who comes out first. As a lot of them are showing here, I'm trying to pick out some here. Looks like Kai Shepard is rolling out right now for his out lap in that number 43 machine. Kinney's out, coming out for his out lap as well. And we're on board with Shepard coming into corner number 3, out of corner number 4 as he comes around, trying to get that momentum built up. Trafford now on track. Shepard there you see on the bottom of your screen. Hurst working his way around the track. So it seems like everybody's working around the track at the same time as we're looking here at Shepard. As I believe he was the last or the first one off of pit road. Kinney laid a pretty good lap time there in lap 1. Got into the pink there at the bottom of your screen. Lays down a 30.666. Lynch lays down a 30.122. He is your current leader. Here comes Shepard. Shepard lays down a 30.356. That'll get him in the third spot currently. Pilin now jumps up to second with a 30.190. Other drivers working on their second lap here. Epker moves up in the third spot, drops Shepard down. Epker with a 30.240. Now Baldwin with a Lynch with a 30.79. Matt Gall with a 30.99, but he quickly gets knocked down by Shepard with a 30.086, and Sprinkle, who has a 30.098. Still a few more drivers there to try to make a run at it. As you see there on the bottom of your screen, Ledford, Dale, Shue, Freeling. Drivers starting to get back on the pit lane again. There we see the likes of Andrew Smith out here making his laps as he's completing his. There's Jonathan Vanderberg on board with him as he's working his way around for his second lap here, as Vanderberg will jump up to a 30.232 in 14th position. Freeling working on his lap as we're looking at James Wagoner for James Wagoner Welding in that number 30 machine. He's sitting currently in 6th position with a 30.140. Now we're looking at Shue. As Shue comes across the line, he's going to try to improve on his lap one time. He currently did, and he brings himself up into that third position with a 30.097. still have Ledford and Dale left to qualify. We'll see if either one of those do qualify or if one of them's race control. I'm unsure of that right at the moment. But we've got a minute and a half left of qualifying. And as it stands, Robert Lynch Jr. is your top spot with a 30.079. Keith Shepard there with a 30.086. Shu with a 30.097. And we got Sprinkle with a 30.098. Matt Gall with a 30.099. We're currently trying to get everything working and underway here for the evening as we got about 40 seconds left of qualifying. Then we'll get them on to pit road and get them all gridded up, or they'll get gridded up right on the front stretch. That is yet to be seen how we're going to grid up this evening. But should be in for a great night of racing here at Las Vegas. As things are starting to calm down here, nighttime's falling here at Vegas. It should be a great night. I'm looking forward to see if Wagoner can hold on to his points lead, maybe extend it a little bit. Can Shu go and cut into that points lead tonight? Or will somebody else come out on top? I missed last week, so let me see here if I can find last week's results. Well, I'm not seeing last week's results right off the top of my score sheet here. Unfortunately, I'm unsure who in Watkins Glen, but I'm quite certain that was a race to have seen as they hit the banks there. I'm sorry, again, I was not able to make it. I had prior commitments that I definitely had to make sure I was at. So unfortunately, I missed bringing the Watkins Glen race to you, and I do strongly apologize for that. But as for tonight, we got the on track ready to grid up as we get ready to rock and roll once again from Las Vegas here this evening. Robert Lynch Jr. did take pole. Starting his outside is Shepard. Behind the pole sitter there in row 2, that is Stephen Shu. Adam Sprinkle in 4th. Matthew Gall qualified in 5th. Rick Baldwin there in 6th. James Wagoner for James Wagoner Welding starts in 8th. I'm sorry, 7th. In 8th is Matthew Barker. In 9th is Jason Kinney. 10th goes to Teresa. Benjamin Richards in 11th. Jared Epker there in 12th. In 13th this evening, we have Jimmy Pylan Rowdy. In 14th, we've got Ty Trafford. Jonathan Vandenberg in at number 26 will start in 15th. Jerome Cooper will start 16th in that number 72. Tony Richards in the number 52 will start on the inside. In 17th position, to his outside, that's Andrew Smith in 18th position. Joining Hurst there in 19th, Jeff Scott 20th. Andrew Freeling in that number 11 car will be rolling off in 21st. Jeffrey Ledford in 22nd. And Randall Dale, I do not believe, took the grid in that number 10 machine. Green flag is out there, down and away here at Las Vegas as we get tonight's race underway. It is going to be 100 laps tonight. It was 135 laps last night in the ARCA series. Tonight it's 100 laps here in the Gen 6 series, brought to you by James Wagoner Welding and the Roughneck Racing League. Become elite here with Roughneck Racing. James Wagoner's Welding there in North Wilkes-Barre, North Carolina. We are presenting them here throughout the night and want to make sure that if you have any need for custom truck bed work or framework, go ahead and contact them down in North Wilkes-Barre, North Carolina. But out front, it is Robert Lynch Jr. getting off to a great start here this evening. As now he's got Stephen Shu on his outside. Matthew Gall there in third. And that number 78 is going to battle beside the 00. Stephen Shu on the inside. Doubles foul side by side as they come through the tri-oval here this evening for the starting the third lap. It is Robert Lynch followed by Matthew Gall. Matthew Gall now to the outside of Robert Lynch. We definitely have racing going on here tonight. Almost looks like we might be going 3 wide for that third position as James Wagoner there in the middle lane. We got Robert Lynch down on the inside. Matthew Gall is your current leader. Everybody side by side. Great battle going on. It almost looks like we're going to go 3 wide back here by Jimmy Pylan in that number 29 machine. As they come down the backstretch into corner number 3. Side by side from second on back. What wonderful racing we got going on right now as Matthew Gall working there on the inside. Here comes James Wagoner. Now the thing of it is, he's with Las Vegas. It is kind of a drafting track as we definitely see 3 wide going on now back here by Pylan. Down through the trial, we'll hold on to it there. I'm trying to see who that baby blue car is. That's the 19 of Rick Baldwin. Back there trying to battle his way through 3 wide once again. That is the red machine. Trying to figure out who that red machine is. And Pylan is around and into the wall. The 66 down in the inside. There's the 19. Few cars barely get by. The 19's getting it down off the track. The 43's involved. And side by side, here we go. Caution number 1 is out. Boom! Go! All right, as caution number 1 flies, it looks like Teresa might have been involved as well. As we see coming down the backstretch, trying to see who initially caused that. Looks like it might have been Rick Baldwin, but I'm unsure. As I'm trying to see, there's the 19 on the bottom. That red machine for James Wagoner Welding, they're in the middle. The 29 comes up. Unfortunately, gets caught there by that unmarked James Wagoner car, and it comes down, ends up catching the 19. Ball piling up into the 43. The 66 gets turned by the 56. Trying to see here if we can get a better shot at this. As we come through the corner, here's a better shot. This is from our chopper drone cam. As we come onto the backstretch, you'll see the 29 come up, get tagged a little bit of netcode, but that red machine was coming down irregardless. I'm trying to get a number so we know which driver that is. He comes down a little farther, tags the 19. Jason Kinney around. Teresa Spiker there around in the or down there on the inside, gets tagged from behind as she's slowing up for the caution. It ends up going around. Problems early here for some of these drivers as we just get underway here at Las Vegas. Matthew Gall sitting in second. Robert Lynch now back out front. Everybody's single file. We got a few drivers on pit road like Shepard and Richards. Shepard rolling out. Richards about to roll out, I believe, or is in the pit stall at the moment. Lights still on in the pace car, so we got another lap at least. Still under caution here in the early stages of the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series here this evening.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, so we're definitely getting everything, trying to get them back lined up again. Tough night here for some of these drivers as the night just is still young yet. We're only on about lap 10 of the evening. As the drivers come back into the trial, well, again, I'm sorry for these black marks here around me. I don't quite have the best of green screen behind me. Hopefully someday I'll get that switched up and it will be better. As looks like the lights are out officially on the pace car. Everybody's getting double file. We're going to go back trackside for the restart. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the racing so far as we are bringing it live to you here from On the Pole, here on the Fligger Farm Network, here on FFTV. James Wagoner sitting there in third, right behind Robert Lynch. Let's see if we can get a name on that machine right in front of... That's the 77 of Adam Sprinkle. That was involved in that. I don't have any number on that machine, so it was hard for me to pick it out. But that is Adam Sprinkle in that red James Wagoner machine. I'm not seeing a 77 on it anywhere, so that's going to just try to help me keep in mind that the blank the blank James Wagoner machine is that of Adam Sprinkle here this evening. Maybe somebody should go out there and sprinkle some sprinkles on it for some number verification so we can keep track of them. Filed out front, pace car is off. I thought Fred was supposed to learn how to hit them pit roads better, as that is our pace truck driver. We have Barney in the flag stand, Fred in the pace car. As it comes to the stripe, Robert Lynch off to a great restart. Matthew Gall didn't quite get the restart he needed, as now James Wagoner stays inside, coming down into corner number 1 with Shu right behind him. Getting around the 78 of Gall, or I'm sorry, yeah, he's getting around the 78 of Gall. The 00 of Shu is, that is. And then here we have the 56 of Benjamin Richards getting caught up in that accident, but working his way through. He's here in 7th position. Another name to keep an eye on, he's up 11 positions since the start of this race, is that number 01 of Jeffrey Ledford. As he is up 11 spots and working his way towards the front, it seems. James Wagoner now leading this as we come down into the corner number 4, heading back towards the front stretch. Side by side for third between Gall and Lynch. It is going to be Gall. Lynch has to fall back, and he's going to fall victim possibly to the 19 of Baldwin as well as they come down into corner number 1. Possible 3-wide action behind Gall and Lynch. As now Baldwin gets up there and gets around Lynch. Here comes the 0-1-1 of Jared Epker as he looks to see if he can advance his position. As we got a small pack breakaway here, single file across the stripe. Back here a little farther, it is going to be Jason Kinney and Jonathan Vanderberg as they try to battle it out here amongst Hyland and Ledford. And, as they come down the backstretch, they're Hyland leading that second pack, coming down into 3 and 4. Still got a battle up front, though, between the main pack, as Shu is now up to second place. Baldwin up there to third. As Baldwin now looks to see if he can capitalize and take away that second position. 2 wide down in the corner number 1 and 2. Side by side onto the backstretch they go. Lap 14 out of 100 here this evening. Great racing going on here in the Gen 6 Series, brought to you by the James Wagoner Welding and Roughneck Racing here this evening. Hope everybody's enjoying the show here on the Pole. On the FFTV network here on YouTube and Facebook. As we got the 0-1 loose, can he keep it together? He does. Surprisingly there, great job at saving that one as he got loose coming out of fourth. Thought maybe that was going to be a catastrophe there as he was in the middle of a 3-wide situation. But everybody gets it straightened out. Everybody keeps it rolling as we look back here at the second pack. Some side-by-side racing going on towards the tail end of the field, but we've got Hyland there working in that 10th position. Ledford up to 11th. He's going to see if he can get around Pyland as they come down. And we do have a car spun out on the front stretch. That is Benjamin Richards having issues. We saw him get... Not sure exactly what happened. We'll catch it here. See if we can figure it out. As he... 0-0 of Shoe gets into him. He comes around, tags the 1-1. Everybody splits him there in the back. He gets it rolling in the correct direction again. But that is going to bring out a caution right there underneath the flag stand. As Richards now on his way. Tough break there as now everybody's checking up, getting that pace car back into position. James Wagoner leading here in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. Rick Baldwin there in second. Robert Lynch Jr. in third. Matthew Gall in fourth. Stephen True fifth. Matthew Barker in sixth. Andrew Smith in seventh. Jimmy Palin has moved up to 8th, and Jeffrey Ledford has caught another couple positions as well, as he's up to 9th position. Jason Kinney in 10th. Teresa sitting in 11th. Adam Sprinkle rounding out your top 12 this evening. Johnny Hurst in 13th. Trafford there in 14th. Andrew Freeling 15th. And then on back from that, we've got drivers in pit road. That is the likes of Schappert, Richards, Epker, Vanderberg, Cooper, Scott, and Richards all sitting on pit road at the moment or coming off of pit road as they're getting service. One thing to keep in mind is, like I said before, this is kind of a drafting track here at Las Vegas. But another thing these drivers need to keep in mind is their tire wear. Las Vegas does go and chip down on tires as they come down that Nellis straightaway. Hope everybody's enjoying the racing so far. As we're under caution again, we'll give another shout out to our league sponsor.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Alright, lights are still on that pace vehicle out front, driven by the pace car driver Fred, as we learned here this last week in iRacing. Somebody says it sounds a little bit like the Flintstones here in iRacing, as we got Barney up in the flag stand, and we got Fred behind the pace vehicle. I don't know about you, but I might have trusted Barney a little bit more as the pace car driver than Fred, but it is what it is. Everybody's settling back in here. Should be getting the ready to go sign here as they come across the stripe. Everybody's going to double up here. We'll see which lane prevails as they come back to the start-finish line once again. Already side by side, here we are down the backstretch. And we're coming back around for the green flag here at Las Vegas after another caution has brought us to another restart. Side by side, it is Wagoner out to the lead. Here going into corner number 1 again. And Lynch down on the inside, Baldwin to the high side as they work through 1 and 2. The 78 of Gall working there behind Lynch. And here comes Baldwin working on that high side as he's got help from the 00 of Shoe. And right behind him is the 96 of Matthew Ace Barker. They haven't seen really too much of Barker yet. I think he might have dropped back some. But one driver I'm definitely keeping an eye on is Ledford. As Ledford is up 13 spots. But another driver to keep an eye on is Andrew Smith. As Andrew Smith is in another James Wagoner Welding car in at number 14. As he's working his way through the field here at Las Vegas. We've got another yellow flag here at lap 21. Looks like we got problems with Theresa. Jared Epker, Kia Shepard. There's a 70 there, and oh no, piling in there. And it looks like we had to, no, trying to figure out who else ended up the racetrack. There's the 011 of Jared Epker getting turned by the 70 of Theresa. Tries to straighten it out. Theresa gets underneath. Here comes another, and the 26 ends up coming in and hitting the back of Theresa. Here's the 011 as we're keeping an eye on him as he's trying to get everything straightened out. Looks to be everybody's okay, but Theresa definitely having some issues there as she is up against that outside wall. Now moving it down a little bit, but does not move it enough. And here comes the 011 giving her another tag. Oh, man. Tough there for some of these drivers. As we're just about a quarter of the way through it. As we're on board right now with Andrew Smith out of Caswell, Tennessee. More drivers in the pits getting some tire changes and things. We got Jared Epker down there. We got Jonathan Vanderberg getting some damage fixed. Shepard getting some damage fixed. Maybe some tires put on as he is making his way out in that U.S. Air Force number 43 machine. Still out front, though. It's that James Wagoner machine, followed by Rick Baldwin and Robert Lynch. And then Steven Shue.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
James Wagoner must be pretty pleased here tonight with his cars doing so well. We got the number 30 out there on the front row. We got another one there ending the number 14 sitting in 7th position, up 11 spots from where he started. Lights are still on the pace vehicle as we are rounding a tri-oval once again. As we are working on lap 25. So when they take the green flag, we will be a quarter of the way through this race. It's the 82 of Ty Trafford that I was trying to make out before. I could just make out that it was an orange card, number I couldn't quite read. 38 of Jeff Scott. 58 of Johnny Hurst, and the 72 of Jerome Cooper. Kai Shepard there in the 43, Benjamin Richards in the 56. That is Andrew Freeling in the number 11. Pace car driver Fred's going to get ready to pull off right here, and they should be about ready to go green. Once again, here from Las Vegas, we'll see how far we get this time. As Wagoner gets a great restart off of the jump, gets up in front of the 19 this time on that high side. Baldwin's going to have to follow him down through the corner, but back here at third and fourth, that is Lynch and Shu battling side by side, but Gall is trying to get up there in the works as well as they now work down the backstretch. Side by side is Gall and Lynch as we're on board now with Robertson. Oh, I'm sorry, with Robert Lynch is who we're on board with as we work through the tri-oval. As he's underneath Matthew Gall down into corner number 1. Side by side from 4th on back to about the 9th position. I want to say 9th, maybe 10th. As we got Adam Sprinkle there in 11th trying to make his way up through the field. At Andrew Smith, he's in the 14. He's still hanging on up there on that high side. Now the advantage to running the high side here at Las Vegas is the drivers are going to have less tire wear on that high side as compared to the lower side, but their speed's going to be affected. They're not going to get around the track as quickly. So there is a trade-off. Do you stay up there, save your tires, or do you move to the bottom and have the speed, but wear your tires down a little bit more? So there is a balancing act of where you want to run to save your tires, but also stay competitive. It's still pretty early in this one as we just hit lap 28 on the board, working on lap 29. Stephen Shu sitting in third. His teammate Bedford now up. He's done a great job working that James Wagoner machine up towards the front as he's currently sitting in 4th or 5th, depending on how they come across the scoring loop, as he's battling for that 4th position beside Matthew Gall. Currently they're on the bottom side. Bedford, though, on the high side, trying to get something worked out there as he's still battling Gall going down into corner number 1. Ace there behind Ledford up there on the high side. Now Gall shuts the door on Ledford. Now here comes Gall to the inside. Almost touches there. We almost had a spin there on the Matthew Gall as he tried to throw the block on Ledford. Some tight racing going on here for that fourth position between Lynch, Ledford, and Gall. Ace just kind of sitting back a little bit, trying to figure out which way he might want to go in that Roughneck Racing number 21 machine. Or I'm sorry, 96 machine as Ace. Jimmy Pound not doing too bad this evening as well, as he's now up into the 8th position after his start. He's up 5 positions from his starting position. Side by side through the triangle, we've got the 66 there of Jason Kinney, having a little bit of problem after that one caution, but now he's worked his way back into contention here as he's up 6 spots. Ledford, though, really putting on a showing as he's still battling for that 4th position, trying to find a way around Gall, and now the high side's getting the momentum going down into corner number 1. But Ledford not having too much of it, and he's still battling beside Lynch for that position. Baldwin now up to the bumper of Wagner. Will we have a battle for the lead as Gall is up to shoe? Caution is out. Waiting to see if we can see what the caution flag is for. Seeing if we can figure out what this caution is for. And I'm not seeing anything right off the start here. I'm trying to see if we got cars spinning somewhere. As that looks to be so we have Ace up in the wall trying to figure out, aha, we found it coming across the strike. Battling for that 2nd spot, or 5th spot, I'm sorry. That's gonna put the 01 of Ledford up into the wall. Like I said, I didn't quite get it on my scoring ticker the way I probably should have, but here you see it. At 01 of Ledford, coming up, getting across the nose of Lynch, putting Lynch into the wall, Piling working his way through. Ledford coming up, getting into the 14 just a smidgen there after he went around. Ace Barker ends up in the wall, broke. Ledford looks like he's feeling ill effects on that car as he's down on the apron trying to get it back to pit road. Almost the entire field now on pit road. As we're on board, I'm trying to figure out with who. Matthew Gall is who we're on board with in that number 78. So that's going to hand the lead over to Benjamin Richards, Ty Trafford, and Jonathan Vandenberg, who have been running well, but just have not had the luck run their way quite yet in this race. But as you see there, they're sitting 1, 2, 3. Richards up 10 spots, Trafford up 12, Vandenberg up 12. And if we remember the start of this race, we had 22 take the initial grid. As we're at lap 35 of 100 here this evening, getting underway.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, as we're back here at the track, you can see this is our 4th caution of the evening. On lap 36 currently. Barker still in the pit getting service. Same with Richards. Theresa sitting in 20th position right now. As everybody's slowly getting lined back up here on lap 37. Looks like lights may be out on that pace vehicle. And indeed they are. Richards is going to take the low side, Trafford to the high side. There's James Wagoner, though, sitting in that second row, high side. We know he's got a decent car to be running here tonight. Side by side, green flag is out. We're down and away once again here in Las Vegas, here on lap 38. With Benjamin Richards getting out to a decent start. Trafford Wagoner getting off to an excellent start, taking that high side. Now he's coming up. I think Wagoner was the first car to come into the pits there at lap 34. Richards, last time he was in pits was lap 22. And then we have Trafford, who was last in the pits at lap 6. So I don't know what Trafford was thinking, as all these cars down on the inside of them all have fresher tires. He's going to end up getting past pretty quickly here. Shu battling hard with Wagoner. Richards there in third. Vanderberg up to fourth. Baldwin sitting in fifth. Piling now up to sixth. And there goes Baldwin down on the inside, trying to get something happen as he's now way down on the apron coming through the tri-oval, trying to make every inch work he can, as now they're down into corner number 1. Side by side, looks like we've got some sparks flying off of somebody as they're bottoming out through the bumps through 1 and 2. Baldwin getting in behind Piland. Piland disappearing for just a moment there as we come down into 3 and 4. Everybody single file from first on back in this first pack. A little farther back, though, we got a second pack going on. Here comes Theresa. She's making some moves up through that second pack, because she's currently side by side of Jeff Scott at number 38 down into corner number 1. And now we're getting some racing action going on here in that front pack, as now Piling there on the inside of Vanderberg. The 66 of Kinney there now on the inside. Here comes Baldwin up the middle. Going to try to make it stick. Hopefully they can keep it together. A little closer coming through the tri-oval, but they do make it work. Baldwin now up to 5th as he shoots the gap there out of 4, bringing it 3 wide through the tri-oval. Now here we got somebody up in the fence. That is going to be Robert Lynch, as he's up in the outside wall. He's going to try to bring it down. Think that car might be broke here on that right-hand side, as you see the sparks coming off of that Roughneck Racing number 21 machine. So he got it down to the apron. We will stay green. Wagoner still up front, but here comes Piling. Piling's making his move to try to get around Shu down there on the inside at Jimmy John's number 29. And to the backstretch they go. Down that Nellis straightaway. Side by side for second through fifth. As now Baldwin's going to try to bring it down through. But underneath Shoes, they come through the tri-oval. It will be Baldwin taking that spot away for third as they come through the tri-oval. But Shoes not going to give it up too easily as he's still working at high side. Baldwin finally gets around. He's going to slide up and let Baldwin know that he's completed that pass. Lynch currently on pit road. As we are single filing it out once again up here at the front. There you see the 14 of Andrew Smith. And Andrew Smith is working through the corner. Right behind Gall is the 66 of Kinney. There's the 01 of Leopard. He's back up to 9th position after his mishap whenever he got up to about the 5th position. Back out front, though, we still got Pylan trying to find a way around Wagoner. Wagoner getting a little loose. Ends up having to take the apron. That'll open up the door for Baldwin as we're on board with Wagoner right now. As we got the caution flag back out, looks like we have a problem with Johnny Hurst. And I'm not seeing a problem so much with Johnny Hurst as we do the 26. We got a mess of cars around again. Wait a moment. Looks to be the 01 involved again, trying to work his way through the front. And oh no, Johnny Hurst ends up going for a barrel roll down the front stretch. That would be why Johnny Hurst was involved. End over and barrel rolling it down the front stretch through the tri-oval. Ends up on the outside wall, ends up getting flipped around back the other way. Boy, oh boy. I mean, we're on board with Johnny Hurst. He thinks he's got this mixed. And all of a sudden, he's going for a ride. Just amazing how quickly things happen. It didn't look like he was rolling that quickly down the front stretch, but he obviously was rolling quite quickly. There's one more look from the roll bar cam. It's amazing how quickly it feels when you're rolling that like that. Jason Kinney is pretty much where it started. Back here with the 66. Or no, I'm sorry, the 26 gets around, and Ledford tried to dive bomb it. The 66 comes back up, closes the door on the 01 of Ledford. And that's why those three were involved. And there's the 78. He didn't quite get on the brakes, and that's what set. And in real time, look at the car of John Hurst. Look at this in real time. We had it slowed down before. That's why it didn't look as bad. But here it is in real time. He went for some ride. We got some tracking issues there on the number 58 as well as the 66. I noticed some tracking issues there on the 66 as well as he was trying to get around John Kinney, or Jason Kinney, I mean. You can see how that car's really angled out. And doing all he can to try to keep it straight enough to go through the corner to get it back around the pit road. So that'll bring out our fifth caution of the evening. As we are getting ready to hit halfway.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Alrighty, welcome Duke again for coming and joining us. Pilot is sitting currently in second position here after our fifth caution. After you saw the wild ride that Hurst took, all I could say is I hope he's not on a VR headset, because I don't know how them guys handle that in a VR headset. I know what it looks like on a single monitor, let alone the monitor being right next to your eyes. Lights are out on the pace car. Here we go. We're getting them restacked. Pylan's going to be out on the outside. He's had kind of an up and down year as it's gone. Looking really good tonight, though, here at Las Vegas, as Pylan's sitting in second. Wagoner there on our points leader. He's currently sitting in second. Let's take a real quick glimpse at our points. Jimmy Pilot is sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in points. He's sitting with 126 points. Wagoner with 151. So, I mean, it's still early enough in the season as we are at Las Vegas tonight. Then we hit Atlanta. Charlotte Motor Speedway is our all-star race. Kansas, Bristol, Chicagoland, then Talladega. So we're working on our halfway lap now. Lap number 50 on the board is what we're running. So when we cross the line, they will be crossing into halfway completed in the race here this evening in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series presented by the Roughneck Racing. Become Elite. There we are. Then his restart zone. They are down and away. Wagoner getting off to a great start. Baldwin right behind him. Pilot up on the outside. Shoe's going to drop down to the inside. Going to leave Pilot up there trying to fight, but Pilot's going to drop back down in front of Shoe for that third position. Try to get it back in line. Here comes the 14 of Andrew Smith as he's working his way up towards the front as well in that number 14 machine in the 7th position. Sponsored by James Wagoner Welding as well. Here comes Teresa. She's had a not so good start to her day, but she is now up here in 8th position again. We got Pilot having problems. Ends up checking up through the tri-oval. Not exactly sure what the mayhem was there. As we'll take a quick look back at it. As Pilot now. Oh, Baldwin comes down, gets into Pilot, sends Pilot up, and he comes up and stacks the field up. Luckily, everybody's on their toes. Great heads-up work there from all the drivers, keeping it green flag racing. As it's about Wagoner out front with Baldwin right behind him. Not sure if Pilot's going to take too kindly to that one, though. As we're working down the backstretch. In the corner number 3 and 4, it is Wagoner and then Baldwin. Pace car back out. Jason Kinney crashed. That is going to be. We're trying to find Jason Kinney. There it is. There we are. Now we're getting into the right area. The 26 comes down, gets into the 66. 66 just loses it after that hit from the 26, spinning it around on the backstretch, bringing out the caution there. So we are under our 7th caution of the evening. Oh, sorry, 6th caution. I'm getting a caution ahead of myself. So 6 cautions here this evening at lap 54. James Wagoner still out front. Benjamin Richards there in third. This can make for a long night of racing for some of these drivers, turning this from iRacing into iPacing, but us as viewers, we're going to stick by them, keep cheering them on. Hopefully we can get some green flag laps running here. We did seem to I thought we were going to get a green flag run going there for a short time, but unfortunately things just did not work out that way. So, back under caution here at Las Vegas. And Fred, our pace car driver, has picked up the field once again and leading them around at pace speed.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
I'm running out of things to talk about here in the booth as we're under caution yet again. I know we have another league sponsor that I'd like to give to, and that's Admin Box. I'll see about getting a discount code in that up in the description for anybody that's watching. Along with a new, with another commercial to run alongside of James Wagoner Welding. We definitely won't want to forget James Wagoner Welding, as they've done so much for this league, sponsoring some of these drivers, really helping us put on a show here for the racers and the viewers alike with this Gen 6 series. I understand there are other series throughout the week that James Wagoner also sponsors. I believe there is a Sunday night dirt league as well as a Wednesday night truck race. And there's possible talks of them moving stations, but we will have to wait and see if they're going to join us here on the pole on FFTV or where they might be going. But that is in negotiations right as we speak. That is a possibility. Nothing's set in stone yet, though. As we are back green flag racing here at Las Vegas, as we are now officially almost 10 laps into halfway here. James Wagoner out front. Benjamin Richards there in second. No, make that Rick Baldwin now in second there on the high side. As Richards there is losing some ground on the inside, as Baldwin Now it's getting help from trying to figure out that's Andrew Smith moving up into that third spot. I can tell that it was a James Wagoner car. Just could not really get a grip on which car it was. There's a few cars painted identical. And here comes Adam Sprinkle there out on the inside as well as he's moving up through underneath Shu for that sixth position. Shepard now moving up with Teresa right behind them. And a little farther back, we got Gall, Cooper, Freeling. Looks like Barker Ace might be kind of out of this one as he's still sitting on pit road. Tony Richards sitting on pit road, so they might be done and out of this race this evening with 40 laps to go, or 41 laps to go as we just are working on lap 60 coming down into corner number 1. Side by side back here towards the back, up towards the front though, it's still single file with Wagoner, Baldwin, and Smith, your top 3, with Hyland there in 4th with Richards right behind him trying to make up some ground. And here they come, double file behind Richards with the likes of Sprinkle going to the inside of Richards now, down through the tribal into turn number 1. Shu pushing Richards with Teresa there on the inside right behind Sprinkle. Now Sprinkle up to that 4th spot as we're on board with Sprinkle coming down the backstretch. In the corner number 1, or I'm sorry, corner number 3 and 4 onto the backstretch. And single file Teresa has moved up to 6th. Andrew Smith, though, has really been putting on a show for us in that number 14 as he is now up to 3rd position with that James Wagoner welding machine. But look out, here comes Pylan as we're on board with Andrew Smith. He's up 15 spots from the start of this race. Jimmy Pylan up 29 spots. Or, I mean, not 29 spots, but 9 spots, sorry. I'm putting in a 2 there in front of him. He's car number 29. He's up 9 spots. As we're on board on the roof cam there of Pylan as we work down through 1 and 2. And you see Baldwin trying to find which lane he wants to get around Wagoner. Wagoner still holding on and controlling the race as we come down into turns 3 and 4. Down the backstretch, we still got Wagoner out front. And we're back on board with Adam Sprinkle down the backstretch. Going towards turns 3 and 4. Still got that battle going on up front between Wagoner, Baldwin, Smith, and Pylan. As they come out of 4, everybody's still single file. Teresa trying to get something happen as she's trying to work her way around Shu. And Shu gets around Teresa on the bottom side. Here comes the 43 of Shepard as we're now on board with Shu. Down here on the bottom side as he's trying to work his way onto past Teresa, as Teresa's getting a great run there on the high side with a little bit of help from the 43 of Shepard. Now Shepard down to the inside. Teresa up into the outside wall. That's going to open the door for Shu to get around. And Shepard's going to go around Shu on the bottom side, heading down into corner number 1. Lap 67 is what we are working on. Epker now in pit lane. Not sure what the fuel run is, but we should be getting close to these drivers being able to make it the rest of the way. As we're reaching lap 68, we got Wagoner out front. Baldwin 2nd, Smith there in 3rd, Pylan in 4th, Shepard 5th, Sprinkle there in 6th. Lap 69 working on right now with Wagoner still up front, Shoe. And we got Smith battling Pilon. Pilon's trying to get underneath Smith for that third spot. Heading down into corner 3 and 4. Definitely got some fans here for you, Pilon, as they're working through the tri-oval. I'm sure they would be ecstatic if you can get yourself up there in the podium positions. As we've got 31 laps to go here at Rick Baldwin there in second, Andrew Smith there in third. Caprit fourth, Pilon fifth. Pilon has fallen back a little bit due to the 43 of Shepard getting around him, but he's going to try to battle back there on the inside. Lap 71, 30 laps to go here in the Gen 6 series, brought to you by James Wagoner's Welding. And James Wagoner's Welding leading out front. He's got Adam Sprinkle back here in the 7th position in another James Wagoner machine. And I do believe there was one more that I saw here tonight, but I think he might be out of this race if I'm thinking correctly. I think it was 21 of Robert Lynch was in a James Wagoner machine as well. So unfortunate there for Lynch, as I think he has retired out of this one. As I can't seem to pick him up on track. Yeah, Lynch is definitely out. You can see 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th spots all out. Barker's still sitting in the pits. Richard's sitting in the pits. Dale is out. Dale might have been our race control this evening. Here working up front. Baldwin working on Wagner. Shepard is here in third as he worked around Smith and Pilon. Well, Pilon's trying to work his way up around Smith as he's been trying to do the last few laps. It's now Pilon and Smith working at it again. And they come down through the tri-oval. Wagner still leading. Sprinkle, though, looking to see if he can get up to Shoe to get that spot away from Shoe. Low far back, we got Jason Kinney, Matthew Gall, Jason Skinny, Jeff Scott, Ty Trappard, all battling back here for that 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th positions. Rome Cooper, a little farther back, kind of on his own. Same with Jonathan Vanderberg. They're just kind of rolling around trying to get points. Way back here is Andrew Freeling in the number 11 and the 56 of Benjamin Richards. Benjamin Richards is a lap down. Andrew Freeling could end up becoming a lap down. But we will wait and see as we got 26 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Baldwin here coming down behind Wagoner. Wagoner now still holding his lead. Nobody's really made a contention for the lead here, but Shoe now battling with Smith. Pilon up around Smith, now gets up in the 4th spot. Shoe gets around Smith for the time being, but Smith is doing a great job battling her on the high side. He don't want to really wear his tires out. He knows he's still got some laps to run. I'm still unsure. Can drivers make it the rest of the way? That's one thing I have to maybe try to start figuring out, is the fuel run on these cars so I know when these drivers need to pit. As we got 24 laps to go, Wagner still out front. Baldwin there in second. Shepard there in third. Shepard last pitted at lap 47, so he might be in a better position than our front 2 running cars, as he's got fresher tires underneath him, I believe. As Wagner and Baldwin last pitted at lap 34. So if I was Wagner and Baldwin, I'd be keeping an eye in my mirror, because Shepard is coming. 23 laps to go. Another car that made late pit stops was Matthew Gall back here in that 78. Is he going to try to be able to work through the field enough? But he's clear back here in 8th. He's got some work cut out for him. He wants to try to make his way up towards the front with 23 laps to go here at Las Vegas. We come into corner 3 and 4. Matthew Gall going underneath Adam Sprinkle. And in front of Sprinkle is Shoe. Ball looks to be using Shu as a pick as he's now on the inside. He's got the 66 of Jason Kinney right behind him, helping pushing him through down into corner number 1. Side by side, Kinney getting a little stacked up there, getting in from behind is Jeff Scott. And the 82, I believe the 82 of Ty Trafford is also in the mix there. So your front three have kind of spread themselves out now, have kind of run away, but Shepard is running here in third. He's getting up here to Pylan. Pylan's running in second. So Pylan doing a great job as he's now in a podium position himself as he works up here to Wagoner. Wagoner may find himself in some trouble here as Shepard now goes to the outside. Here comes Wagoner and Pylan in the pit road. Do we have any other takers? Does look to be. We do have some takers coming in the pit road now. So here is the money stop. Unless Kai Shepard can make it the rest of the way, I'm seeing a lot of drivers pitting. Adam Sprinkle pitted on lap 34. Jeff Scott, however, pitted on lap 54. With 20 laps to go, can Jeff Scott make it the rest of the way? Along with Jerome Cooper. So we got half the field into the pit lane. Some of the field, a third of the cars in pit lane, a third of the cars out. And we got Shepard now leading the race with 19 laps to go. Here's Adam Sprinkle in second, Jason Kinney in third. And Jerome Cooper there in fourth, Vanderberg fifth. So Stephen Shu is now in, Jeff Scott in, Andrew Freeling in, James Wagoner coming out. Currently lapped down, take Shepard. Shepard, Kinney, Cooper, Sprinkle is in. Vanderberg rolling out. Oh, Vanderberg might be, should be coming in here soon too. So we got 4 drivers that have not pitted yet here in the late stages of this race. So if they are able to hold out, that's a big if. As we got Cooper, Kinney, and Shepard. Shepard currently in that first spot, 17 laps to go. He's way out front at the moment compared to Kinney, who's still working through that third and fourth turn. Or I'm sorry, 1 and 2 turn. Here they are coming down the backstretch. There is the gap. That's 1 and 2. Third is now still coming through turns 1 and 2 with Wagoner right behind him. So Wagoner, you can see the speed difference from fresher tires to older tires. Kinney is in. Cooper is working on his way, coming out. Kinney is in. Vanderberg's in. And we got a caution with Stephen Shu and Adam Sprinkle going off track. This is really going to throw a wrench into some of the... As we see Shu getting into this 26. Shu up into the wall. There comes Adam Sprinkle. Or, no, I'm sorry, not Adam Sprinkle. Adam Sprinkle coming through the grass, trying to miss all that action. So this is really going to shake up the field as Jason Kinney was on pit road when that caution flag come out. Shepard, though, is in first. So this is quite interesting to see how this can play out. As Baldwin is actually a lap down to Shepard. Did Shepard just get way lucky? Or does everybody get their lap back or they come back around? is definitely something to keep an eye on here at the later stages, as we got 14 laps to go. Shappert coming out of the pits now. Hands the lead over to Kenny. Benji, and up.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, we're back here at the Speedway with the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series and the Roughneck Racing League. Kai Shappert out front is what it's showing me on my scoreboard. So it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering how this is going to stack up. Because everybody that stayed out, like Kenny's in pit road at the moment, Richard, Scott, Wagoner, Matthew Gall, Theresa. Is everybody going to be waved around the pace car as Shappert is being shown in the lead? This is quite interesting as we're watching it unfold here tonight at Las Vegas. There we go. Round the trial for another time. 12 laps to go here in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series at Las Vegas. Well, that's kind of what I thought. It looks like everybody got waved around the pace car. Quite interesting to see here, as Freeling is here in the second position. Shoe on the outside. Pace car is off. Everybody's still not lined up completely yet. As the 11 gets pushed down to the apron as they get off to the restart. Shappert, he done got some help from lap traffic as he's got this 00 of Shoe, the 01 of, or I'm sorry, not the 01, but the 56, or the 56 of Richards, I guess, is still battling for position. Baldwin's still battling for position. There's the 00 though of Shu as he's a lap down car, trying to get a lap back. Freeling back here towards the back. Smith back here on the tail end of the lead lap, or tail end of the lead lap cars, but is a lap down. As Baldwin trying to find a way to get around the leader of Kenny. Kenny is our leader in the number 66. So disregard that 00, the Shu sitting out front at the moment as he is a lap down machine. Here comes the 19 of Baldwin. And here comes Wagoner now going around Shepard. Down in the corner, 3 and 4 they come. Side by side for that third position. It is going to be Wagoner, though, pulling ahead. As now Shu is really starting to really put some pressure on some of these leaders, trying to really keeping them stacked up. As now Kenny gets out to the outside of Shu down in the corner number 1. Here comes Baldwin to the outside as well. 8 laps to go here in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. Shepard using Shu as a pick, pushing Wagoner down there to the bottom. Wagoner is going to have to check up a little bit or find another way around Shu. Shepard is really trying to put the hammer down and get around Wagoner. Wagoner now jumps to the outside to try to get around Shu, but ends up thinking differently, ends up looking to the bottom side against Shu, heading down the backstretch. So Kenny, Wagoner, Baldwin, all up here as your top 3 at the moment. Shepard sitting in 4th. Matthew Gall sitting in 5th with Jeff Scott up 14 positions. He's sitting in 6th. Jimmy Pilon not doing too terrible as he's up to the 7th position now with Jeff Scott sitting in 6th. He's trying to work around Jeff Scott into that number 38, but he's not getting it done too quickly as everybody up front is single file for the most part. Here comes Baldwin to the outside of Kenny. Not gonna do it though, as Wagoner still sitting there on the inside. Here comes the 43 of Shepard. Shepard to the inside of Wagoner. Down through the triangle. It is gonna be Shepard to get that 3rd spot away from Wagoner as they come back down in the corner number 1. Gall sitting there behind Wagoner. Here comes Pilon now, as Pilon moves up into the top 5 down through corner number 1. Bunch of moving parts here on the backstretch. As you see, Shu kind of has dropped back somewhere in the pack as we got the leaders now battling out here, coming off up 4. Baldwin dropping down in front. Pilon drops down in front of Gall, ends up almost losing it down into the infield grass down into corner number 1. Side by side for 3rd is Wagoner and Shepard, with Pilon right behind them sitting in that 5th position. Pilon up top. There comes Wagoner. Wagoner trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. Pilon right behind him, hoping that outside lane works a little bit. Gall hoping that inside lane works, as we see there with the 14 of... Oh, who's that? Smith. That's Smith in the middle of this all. In that 14. He's a lap down though. He is the first car 1 lap down. As he's trying to stay with the pack. 66 of Kenny. 3 laps to go. Baldwin, Wagoner, Shepard. And then we got Gall and Pilon falling back into 6th position as they work through the triangle. Here comes Pilon, though. He's not quite giving up as they come down into corner number 1. He's going to see if he can get under Gall going into corner number 1 to make something happen here. You can see some sparks coming off the splitter of the 78 of Gall as they come out of 2 down the backstretch, heading for that turn 3 and 4. Shepard still on the inside by himself through the straightaways, trying to make something happen as Wagoner now moves up in front of Gall. Side by side down the front stretch. It is going to be Shepard, though, that looks to be coming across the line for that 3rd place. Gall needs to really help push one of the 2 of them to another spot ahead if he's wanting to make something happen, as Pilon's now coming on that bottom side. Baldwin now to the outside of Kenny. Kenny and Baldwin side by side, but they've got mirror pulls of Wagoner and Shepard. Shepard looking to the inside. Here comes the 66. They almost touch coming off of corner number 4. And there they do touch. The 66 goes around at the finish line. It is going to be Shepard for the win. If the scoring picker is correct, it's going to be Baldwin taking home second, Kenny taking home third. Kenny is not going to be too happy about that finish, I am quite certain, but I think Kenny was a little bit to blame on that. As we'll watch here, coming out of corner number 4 on the final lap. Kenny drops down. And Shepard was already there. Unfortunate there, we stacked the field up coming across the line. Oh man, tough racing there. Really hate to see that. So, where did everybody finish? There's your top 3 sitting on the finish line. Take a look at your finishing results. Oh, if I can get them to come up here. There's the finishing results. We got Shepard in first, Baldwin second, Kenny in third, Wagoner fourth, Gall finishes 5th, Pilot finishes in 6th, Scott 7th, Sprinkle there in 8th, Richards 9th, Cooper in 10th, Theresa 11th, Trafford finishes 12th, Andrew Smith 13th, Andrew Freeling there in 14th, Stephen Shue 15th, Jonathan Vanderberg in 16th, Jared Epker finishes out in 17th. Down through the field, we got Jeffrey Ledford there in 18th, tough break for him. Johnny Hurst in 19th. Robert Lynch, also a tough break here for Robert Lynch. He ends up down 19 spots from where he started. It's a tough break there for him. Matthew Barker, also a tough night for him as he finishes 13 spots from where he started. Tony Richards back here in 22nd. Oh, now let's see if we can get with some of our drivers in the booth. As we get ready to rock and roll here. Let's see. We got Kenny for third. Well, this will be an interesting one. Kenny, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
Tough breaker at the end. Was that just a block gone wrong?
I don't really know what happened there. I know I ended up sliding up into the 19 on the last lap there.
Well, unfortunately, you had the lead, it seemed like, and then you had some contact there with the 43 on the inside, and that's what shot you down and around. So I'm not sure exactly if that was a block gone bad or completely what happened there, but tough break there for sure.
Yeah, it is what it is. It happens. We'll be back Wednesday.
Well, like I said, congrats on your third place finish. You still come out, despite spinning across the line, you still come out with third place. Who's your sponsors that kind of helped you make tonight possible?
I gotta thank Roughneck and Wagner's Welding. Without those guys, I wouldn't really be here. So, yeah, hats off to those guys.
Well, I know it was a great race to watch. I know we had some hiccups through the way, but once you guys seemed to find your groove there in the second half, it seemed to go pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We had a nice long green flag run there, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, it definitely made for some exciting racing. I was wondering how that last restart was going to go because everybody pitted except for Shepard. And
yeah,
I think you were another one that didn't pit there until the caution come out.
Yeah, I was on pit road when the caution came out, and I ended up getting the penalty. So, I mean, with everybody being a lap down, it just kind of worked out for us to be in third.
I was wondering how that was going to be because you hit pit road and all of a sudden caution comes out. I didn't know if it was going to keep everybody a lap down to Shepard or not. That you know, iRacing can do some goofy crap sometimes.
Yes, sir. I wasn't sure. I knew I was on the lead lap, so I wasn't pitting until we were under caution fully.
Well, congrats on your third place finish. You able to take this momentum into next week?
Hopefully Wednesday.
Hopefully Wednesday. Okay. I don't do the Wednesday streams for you guys yet, but I know there's been talks about possibly.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Alrighty, you have a great night there, Kenny.
You too.
So that was Kenny. Now up next is Rick Baldwin. Rick, can you hear us okay?
I can. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And how about yourself?
Well, I'm one position short. I could be better.
Well, it could have been even worse.
Yeah, I really thought I had the outside there, but I got a little tight. Allowed the 43 to get up underneath this, but it was close. I see the distance, less than a tenth between all three of us, so could have been anyone's.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It was a .03 gap between Shepard and Baldwin. Well, between you and Baldwin, or between Baldwin and Shepard, I guess. You and Shepard. It was a .03. Is what the interval was.
Yeah, but overall, it was a real good race. I'm glad I finished this one. And, yeah, thanks to my team and Social Outcast Racing and all the admins over at Roughneck. Y'all are awesome. I really appreciate y'all putting it all together for us. And our sponsor, Wagoner's Welding. Thank you so much. And thank you for this broadcast and my family for watching. I had a blast.
Well, we had a blast watching you as well, and I'm sure the family at home and all the people that come out to watch you, I'm sure they're going to have a blast too, watching that exciting finish.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I have this one slight problem. I get caught up watching guys on track, and I don't pay attention to the laps. And all of a sudden, it's checkered flag.
Surprise, surprise, huh?
Yeah. It's like I thought we were coming to the white flag when Shepard ended up catching Kenny there across the line, but that was coming to the flag. So yeah, that was great finish.
We stopped playing the team game after that last restart. It was every man for themselves for sure.
Well, sometimes it's got to be that way, right? When you're fighting for points.
Absolutely. I'm getting real tired of finishing second, but I got a win coming up soon, I'm sure.
Well, I know for me, I run another league on Friday nights where I actually race. I'm just looking for a finish. I haven't finished all season long. So I'm just looking for my first finish.
Well, good luck to you. I know you can do it.
So this is the week for Vegas. It was Vegas last night for a league. Vegas tonight for you guys, and I'm at Vegas Friday. So it's going to be. I'm taking all the notes that I possibly can.
It's up there. One of my favorite tracks. I used to race this on the Xbox when I was a kid, so this is my only track, really.
Well, my favorite lies with Pocono, but Las Vegas is ranking up there. I've run it enough, and it's a pretty good track. I like it. I can run decent there. So, but congrats on your second place. Hopefully, you can carry this into Wednesday or next week, whichever comes first for you. I don't know what all series you run here at Roughneck.
I was out on vacation for last week, but I'll be here for the rest of it. So I'll see you next Monday.
Well, I had a thing last Monday too, so I wasn't able to be here for Watkins Glen. So hopefully that race went well. I don't know who quite won last week because I wasn't able to be here to broadcast, but I'm sure it was an exciting one.
Yeah, it's a shame. I wanted to be there for that one, but, scheduling didn't work out. I love road racing, especially in stock cars.
Well, I would have loved to have been there too, as I'm not a road racer, but I love the Glen. Glen and what's the other one I really like? Used to be known as Sears Point. I can't remember the new name of it.
That's Sonoma.
That's Sonoma. Okay. Hey, it went from Sears Point, I think, to Imperial and then over to Sonoma, and it's like I can't keep up with the names.
Yeah, that's a fantastic track as well.
Yeah, I really enjoy that one too. So, but good run there tonight. You thanked your sponsors, so hopefully we'll see you in Victory Lane again next Monday.
I hope so. If not next week, the week after.
Alrighty, well, good luck. You keep getting that car tuned up.
All right, I'll see you later. Thank you.
Well, Shepard, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you.
What a run there this evening.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I got in an early incident, and I actually had wheel damage. Never got around to using the fast repair, so it's a pretty good one.
Well, I was thinking you might have had everybody a lap down there for a moment when that caution came out. I'm like, uh-oh, did that caution just trap everybody a lap down?
Yeah, originally I did some math while I was in the seat, and I actually would have had enough time to save enough fuel in a big enough gap. I could have made it to the end, just lifting the corners and shutting the car off. I began doing it with about 15 to go. Started shutting the car off and letting it go, and then the caution came out, and I realized how many people were a lot down. I was like, this thing really worked out for us.
Yeah, it definitely did. So you went in, you got your tires and fueled up, and you still had everybody have to come back around for the restart. You had two lap cars between you and the guys behind you, so you were still able to get that gap off the restart. You played it very well. Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all with Baldwin there behind you at all?
Oh, always. Baldwin's heck of a racer, man. We've had a scuffle the last couple times we raced together, but I'm finally glad that we got to end one on a close finish. That man, dude, he can wheel a car, and I cannot believe that after that latest restart, we didn't have any wrecks. That was great driving, great opportunity for everybody to have a chance to win that race.
Now I know it wasn't intentional there at the end between you and Kenny. Was that just a block on Kenny's going wrong?
Yeah, so when we were going into three, and I noticed that they shot up the track a little bit, and it was either I could play nice and just let them have it, or I could shoot the gap, and I actually ended up on the apron coming out of four, and we tapped a little bit. He went up the track, and we were clean, and then I was like, I thought we were three wide exiting the corner, so I was like, I'll go to the apron, and then next thing you know, I just saw him come right across my nose, and whenever that happens, you just turn it a little bit to the right, especially on the last lap. No harm, no foul against him, but yeah, I wasn't going to let up for that.
Wow, I wouldn't either, especially coming to the flag. It's just, that's what I said. Sometimes that's just a racing block gone bad, and I wasn't sure if that's what happened or what the
Yeah,
deal was. But I know you guys were all battling hard there for the top position between you, Baldwin, and Kenny. It was great to watch coming to the flag.
yeah. Like I said, it was great to see after the beginning of the race, kind of the hiccups we were having, and then seeing it finish that way. It was a lot of. I was getting a little frustrated behind Doug, but I know he was just trying to keep that spot and stay in the draft. I finally was like, back up a little bit, fourth in line, and let them just make a mistake. And wowie, the last corner, it ends up happening right in front of me, and I'm like, oh man, being patient worked out.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for you here this evening. Can you take this momentum into next week when you head off into Atlanta?
Um, I believe we could, but we all know with Atlanta, anything can happen. I'm not a huge fan of the configuration, but I do like super speedways. I, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Atlanta, but the crazy thing is, I ran it like 6 times and won 5 times the whole 6 times I've ran it. And I don't know how I do so well. It's got to just be patience. Usually I won't even qualify, start in the back and just let things happen. But I'm confident, hopefully, that we get a good group together with the ASDR and BRX folks, and maybe a couple of roughneck guys will talk throughout the week, and we can make a little game plan to make it go green for a while before we start shuffling for position.
Well, it's definitely is a small Daytona, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the hardest part was when they released it, and still to this day, I don't think that the front stretch is correct because there is so much room below that red line. You watch a lot of people will just hug that line coming out, and then they'll drop below the red. in real life, they never drop below that red unless they're qualifying. And so I wish they would adjust it a little bit to punish those who go below the red line a little more.
Well,
Make it a
they
little more
should, because
natural.
if I remember the rules correctly, that red line is technically out of bounds.
Yeah, and I wish iRacing had a way to where the race control doesn't have to police that. I wish there was more of an iRacing way, like even if it's just a 1x or a 4x for going below that line and passing somebody. So.
Yeah, I think it's just difficult getting the programming to cooperate with that to police it, but
We
we'll
had a
see.
problem with rain this last week.
What's that?
We had the problem with rain last week. Let's see what we saw what happened with that. So.
Oh, you guys had rain last week at the Glen.
No, I'm just saying with the update, there's
been
no issue since the rain came out. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays into factors in some of the races.
Yeah, for sure. It's I hope that they get a rain tire for the road racing and the short tracks for these oval racing, because I think it would add a lot of opportunity, and especially for the slower guys. I mean, if you run those rain tires slow, it makes you fast. So.
Well, I know NASCAR has run a few rain races, so it'll be interesting to see if they start incorporating some of the, next gen and truck series into rain races.
Yeah. I love it. I'm a road racer by heart, so oval's just a little hobby on the side, but I would love to see at least the next gens get that upgrade.
Well, like I said, I know the trucks have the upgrade too, so that'd be cool to see the trucks and the most current NASCAR series all running, all that run in the rain. It'd be cool to see them run in the rain.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. I know it's still up and coming, but who's your sponsors you want to thank for getting you your victory this evening?
Always Air Force Esports. Love running for them, being on active duty and having the chance to make a little game for them in recruiting and all that good stuff. And VRX, ASDR, Mama T, the guys over here at Roughneck for sure. These guys are awesome, helping us provide races 7 nights a week across all three. Definitely, the Wagoner boys are definitely helpful getting this all together and pushing out the information. So.
Well, once again, always a pleasure watching the races, and sorry for the background noise. My nephew's being a little bit of a pain in the butt right now, but I want to, yeah, thank you there, nephew. So, viewers, sorry about that, with the green screen disappearing, but we're about ready to finish up here. Once again, Shepard, I wanted to congratulate you on your finish here this evening as we get ready to head off here into next week. I don't know if you run the trucks here at Roughneck or not, but if you do, good luck on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we might have to hop in. Appreciate you, and thank you for the broadcast.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Always enjoy it.
You take care, man.
All right, that was Kai Shepard is our leader. Again, sorry for the backdrop back here. We're difficulty tonight, but but we're getting ready to. All right, I'm not sure what that means there, Haduka. We'll see everybody next, or we'll see everybody check us out Wednesday night when we hit the road back in PA at Williams Grove for the High Momland Super Dirt Series as they take on their Tri-Track Modifieds for their 4th week in a row. We were at Williams Grove to start the season. Now we're starting the second half of the season back here at Williams Grove. And then Friday night, we're going to see about bringing together some on the pole from the driver's seat to bring you some live action from the driver's seat on the wonderful track of Las Vegas as I go ahead and try to navigate my right way around on the banks here. Hopefully luck will roll my way as I got a brand new paint scheme to roll out this Friday. Hopefully it works well. We'll have to wait and see. I know my luck hasn't really held out too well. And then Sunday, we are back with the Friggy Diggy Racing League as they take their ARCA cars to, I forget which track, but hopefully you guys will come and stay tuned. Enjoy the Fleeger Farm TV on the pole segments here as I enjoy bringing them to you. So everybody, great night of racing. Thank you so much for joining in.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart